Welcome to Laugh and Learn. In our earlier conversations, we talked about dysregulation, active freeze, and what relaxation actually is. Now, today, we're taking the next step and asking what changes when a person is sensitive. Because for sensitive people, relaxation is not just about what helps. It's also about what has to stop. Today, I am joined by Jennifer from My Holistic Self. Stick around because this topic came up because you were in the chat and you wanted to know how relaxation and sensitive people interact. Hello.
Hello.
This person is the amazing Jennifer from My Holistic Self.
Hello, hello.
Jennifer has been a frequent guest on Laugh and Learns because there's a lot of things that we can learn about. The Laugh and Learn series is specifically around an opportunity for us to learn together, keeping laughter included. Because sometimes, I don't know about you all, but learning things can be a little stressful for me. Let me tell you about my test anxiety. There's not a test on this. And that's a very, very helpful thing. And I have linked a whole bunch of stuff in the description, including the last Laugh and Learn, which was... what did we call it? What is relaxation or what relaxation is not anyhow. And that one, I only had 7 pages of notes for that one. This one I've got down to 4. And Jennifer created a little chart for us to help us. And that's delightful. Jennifer, will you... let people know who the heck you are and why you are a good person to have on this?
Who in the world am I? So many things and nothing all at the same time. That's the overall umbrella. No, by day, I am a registered psychotherapist, certified Canadian counselor, intuitive life coach. I myself am highly sensitive. So, I work with nervous system regulation, and I talk to clients all the time about what it is to relax and what we need to do in order to actually be able to do that. Because I think we get caught up in, just relax, just go meditate or take a breath or just go for a walk and you're going to be fine. And it's like, whoa. That actually does not work for everybody. And the reason why is because our nervous system isn't ready for it.
No, because what we learned last time is the importance of, it's like, what does my nervous system need right now?
Mm-hmm.
This great little chart that Jennifer created for us, it's so very important because it also goes back to that idea of regulation and dysregulation.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we don't get back to our zero, our full charge, we sometimes might go, I wonder what. And we become to expect that 70% is fully charged, and it's not. Yeah. What also is interesting with that is for people who are sensitive, it becomes even more confusing just simply because there's extra layers that are involved.
Absolutely.
Yes. I do want to remind everyone to please like and subscribe because it is free. For those of you who are members of TarotStache, thank you. I'm going to be trying to film a couple of extra shows just for the members to deeper dive in what we talk about today. It's an opportunity for us to give you how you might use journaling, how you might use forms of divination to support.
Okay.
That's for members. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. I do mention that professional assistance because let me tell you, sometimes when we're caught up in things and we go, I can't do this by myself, and that co-regulation can't happen with my close friends, it's a very strong person who says, you know what? I'm gonna talk to somebody. But yes, I want to say hello. Go ahead.
I was just going to say too, I think that, and being a therapist, I think a lot of people think about counseling and therapy and mental health help in general as I need to be in crisis in order to reach out. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, yes, I have some clients who are in crisis. I have some clients who are just processing. I have some clients who are just going through transitions. I have some clients who are actually doing really well and they just want to work on themselves and understand themselves more.
Mm-hmm.
There is no, I have to be in crisis in order to help out, but if you are in order to seek help, but if you are in crisis, it's there for you.
Yes.
Use it. It's a tool like any other tool. If I am hungry, I will eat something. If I am thirsty, I will drink something. If I am suffering and I have an opportunity to release and to deal with that, it, like you said, Gerald, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to be able to reach out. But that's why people like me do what we do.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I did some postgraduate work in Gestalt therapy, and one of the great things was, well, and we talked about this, is preparing for regulation or dysregulation when you're regulated.
Yeah.
You talk about this when things are fine so that you can figure out, and some suggestions and tools that in crisis we forget we have them, and we have friends, professionals who can say, have you tried this? Oh my God, I have forgotten about that. That's completely what we need. Yeah. We do have some people watching. We are simulcasting this. I do want to say hello to Kaylee Fogo Pogo, Plucky Heroine Kate, D Painless, Acadian, I can never say that. Acadian Proud.
Acadian, yes.
We have Sherry is here. Wex Wuther said howdy, amazing Jennifer and all. Looks like TarotStache will be a streaming machine today. Unfortunately, I won't be able to join for much of it.
Aww.
That's why there's playback. And the great thing about playback, usually within 36 hours, I will add the chapter listing to my videos, and you can go and find exactly what you want. The other benefit is you get to listen at a faster speed. Plucky Kate said, for me, the world gets too people-y. Sometimes I need solitude when overloaded.
Absolutely.
Rachel has joined us, and MGG is here. And this is a really important thing. This, again, as I mentioned in the introduction, this came about because people were watching and somebody asked, well, is this different? Are the relaxation and the nervous system, is that different for sensitive people?
Mm-hmm.
And oh, trust me, I wrote it down. And after the show, Jennifer and I were like, let's do that. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
It's like, this is a focus on part 2, and it builds on what we've already talked about. We're not going to repeat that. And because the earlier show gave that big picture, we talked about relaxation, rest, recovery, discharge, shutdown, collapse. And this show talks about what changes for someone who is sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And why does relaxation feel different for sensitive people? And the title of this is What May Need to Stop Before Relaxation is Even Possible.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those things, Jennifer, I was thinking about this and I'm like, ooh, yeah, this is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
So
oh, sorry, you're still introing.
Go ahead. No, this is great. This is great. This is what we do, Jennifer.
I was just going to say, for sensitive people, right? Relaxation is not just about what we do. It is about what we stop. Because, before we really dive in, I just want to say something that's really important for us sensitives, right? Sensitive people do not necessarily have a dysregulated nervous system. We think that we're sensitive and that's because we're dysregulated and we're all over the place. But it's often just that we have a nervous system that is processing far more information than the average person.
Oh, yeah.
And those are two incredibly different things, because someone can have excellent emotional regulation and still become overwhelmed simply because they're just processing more sensory or emotional or energetic, even relational information than someone else. Right? And this is why that most advice about relaxation doesn't work for sensitives. We can't just meditate or breathe or take a bath or listen to music, because we have to deal with all of the sensory input and all of the other input that we've taken in that hasn't fully processed through our system. Right? And we're not doing it wrong. It's just that our system is still is always taking in information and always trying to process it. And we get to a point where we hit max. There's nothing more that can come into this system right now.
Yes. Again, for someone who is sensitive, it's just a part of this is just knowing how you operate, because I am a firm believer, if we know how we operate, then we can make adjustments appropriate to where we are in the moment.
Absolutely.
Because for me, I have a medical condition. I am a type 1 diabetic. Because I know how my body operates, not a licensed professional, blah, blah, blah. But I also have to pay attention, because I go, oh yeah, that's what's going on. And if I'm not feeling well, or if I'm tired, it may be that I'm just tired. And sometimes it may be because I'm a little out of whack. So to that point, you're so right. I love the idea we're taking in additional information all the time, and we haven't had a chance to process it. That's so true. I think what's really interesting is, let's define, should we try it? Well, I don't want to define. Should we give a broad definition of sensitive person? Do you want me to give some shots to that, or would you like to start with that?
Yeah, go ahead. I have a very, just like our system, and I already kind of said it. So I have a very succinct kind of, this is what it is when we're sensitive from a nervous system perspective, but yeah, go for it.
Okay, because I only have half a page of opportunities for that. Sensitive people are people who tend to register more input from mood, environment, tension, urgency, stimulation, other people's emotional stress.
Mm-hmm.
And some people call this empathic, highly sensitive, intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Some even say, I just pick up things.
Yeah.
The important point for me is not all sensitive people are the same. Just as we are human beings, just as we are as readers and channelers and spiritual beings, there is no one sensitive person protocol. There's not. And if you're here for that, you're not going to get it. What you are going to get is some new opportunities for you to look at things differently.
Yeah.
Now, if you are watching and you go, well, Gerald said a whole bunch of things, I don't feel like I am any of those things, I'm going to say, I am so glad you're here, because I imagine there are people around you who do experience the world that way.
Yeah.
And the fact you can go, okay, this person can tell when my mood is crappy because they have to process it. And so it gives me an opportunity to make space for and to see people for what they're experiencing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pause there and go, how'd I do?
So well said. So well said. And so important. I love that idea. If you're not sensitive, like you said, chances are somebody in your life is. And so understanding this is only going to be able to hold space for that person more.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I break it down, right? Sensitive people are people with systems, nervous systems, that just take in more information per moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you listed so many of them, but emotional, sensory, relational, environmental, right? Those are the key kind of things that we're taking in. But I love adding that, like any energetic, right? Energy that's coming in. We talk about downloads, we talk about collective consciousness, we talk about
Yes.
all these things. And sensitives are taking in all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the key point is that our system is taking in more information per moment than we can automatically filter out. So putting it really simply, that's why it can be so different for every person. Some people are going to be taking in more emotional energy and they just aren't able to filter it automatically. Some people are
Mm-hmm.
taking in more energetic energy. Some people can't handle the sensory stimulation.
Yes.
It's too much. It's more than your system can automatically filter out.
That, I imagine, changes based upon time of the day. I would also think it changes on someone's personal mental state and their physical state. It's been a long time since I've been a teenager and going through a lot of hormonal changes. I cannot imagine what I was like with my parents and what they had to deal with me going all of the time.
Yep. Or on the other side of it, perimenopause.
Awesome. Yes, yes. Well, and some people, and people, here's a beautiful thing. When we notice and honor the natural cycles that we have in our life, whether it be moon, it could be day of the week. It could, when we notice that, it gives us more information to make choices that are going to help us.
Yeah. This is where that test app that I sent you that I was
Yes.
working on comes into play because
Mm-hmm.
it looks at our natural biorhythms. And so biorhythms are based on our physical, emotional, mental, and intuitive insights.
Mm-hmm.
And they're based on the time that we're born. And there's natural waves that we go
Yes.
through, and each wave is uniquely its own. And so often, I'll work with somebody and they're like, I just don't understand. Like last week, I was just doing so much and I just feel completely wiped now. And I don't understand why. But the more that we track our energy, the more we can give ourselves permission to just go, oh, it's okay. I'm going to be okay again in a week from now. I don't need to do it all today.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm. It is okay. I think the importance of recognizing that it is part of the human existence, part of being in the physical world, part of getting up and breathing. It's like eating and natural body cycles. We need to eat. We need to get rid of that. We need to hydrate. Hydrate, everybody. Those are all part of natural rhythm of things. I want to say hello to Timmy from Raven Tarot Meditation. Nalani has joined us.
Hello, hello.
And Timmy did say, part of having a strong sense of humility is knowing your limits and weakness so that you can adjust for them. Same for strengths. I completely agree with that. And I love this idea that there's not one protocol for sensitive people. And it's, I mean, imagine how boring that would be.
Well, and this is where the framework, so we will dive into a framework.
Yes.
That can help.
Okay. Do you want me to, what do you want me to put up? Well,
we'll get to it. I mean, unless you want to do it right now.
Well, because I think what's really important is just like us as human beings, we're not all the same. We're not. And I also, like you were saying, sensitive people, they take in so much stuff and they rapidly soak in information. And what got me thinking about this is when I look like I'm relaxed, I'm still taking in information.
Yeah.
And it's like, and when I'm quiet and I'm, meditating, because I can't meditate, but there's still so much coming in.
Yeah.
And we talk about this idea before. Relaxation is relaxation is the result, not the first step.
Yeah.
Not the first step. And the first step is what does my nervous system need right now?
Absolutely. And it's going to continue to come back to that throughout the conversation, whether we're, highly sensitive, empathic, we've got all the clairs going on or not.
Yes.
Right? We still have to recognize what's happening in our system and how to navigate that.
Yes. Well, and it is that idea of relaxation versus rest. We have to understand that those are two different things.
Yeah. Well, and this is it. I know we talked about it before, so I won't dive too much into it, but that idea of rest, right, might include discharging the energy, right? It might include recharging from what's next. The thing with highly sensitive people that we have to understand is that we might leave a situation, but the situation doesn't necessarily leave us.
Yes.
Right?
I just had that happen recently. I was thinking about something and it really got me going, and I was still thinking about it 8 hours later. And I had to sit with that for a bit.
Right? Because this is that piece where, normally, and we can kind of dive into this if you want now, but normally there's, input, we process, output, right? And that throughput that I call it, that's that processing piece.
Yes.
Right? Generally is like, okay, if we're not sensitive, if we're not, picking everything up, it's like, oh, okay, stimulus, process it, response, right? It's that ability to just let it flow through. But with highly sensitive, we're rarely just doing that. There's a bigger throughput process.
Yes.
That happens.
Would you like me to put up the chart?
Sure.
Okay. This is, everybody, where you're going to. Jennifer has created this beautiful little graphic, and it is linked in the description. She has made it available on her website. It's in our description. That being said, this idea of the throughput, and this
here.
it's so good. So I'm going to stop talking and let you talk about this.
Sure. I mean, go for it.
I love it. This is the sort of thing I geek out about.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
So in the throughput model, it's really recognizing that experience is more than that input and output, like I was just saying,
Yes.
right? There's a world happening in between, and also that piece of what stays after. Because again, in a regular kind of process, we can just input, information comes in, that sensory, emotional, mental, environmental, relational, energetic, whatever it is, comes in, that throughput happens. The nervous system processes it, it interprets it, there's meaning making, and it responds, right? This is where, as sensitives, we're taking in so much more.
Yes.
Right? It's not just I'm going to the store, right? Like, let's look at that for a moment, because I know I use the store sometimes as like an example for testing what we're picking up. So, it's like, okay, imagine two people are walking into exactly the same grocery store. Same lights, same sound, same conversations, same smells. One leaves going, cool, I did my groceries. The other person leaves exhausted, right? It's nothing bad happened, but their nervous systems have processed completely different amounts of information. Right? And again, it's not good, bad, right, wrong, weaker, stronger, none of that. It's just that the person who is more sensitive noticed the lights more. Maybe they noticed the smells of the different sections in the grocery store. Maybe they could not block out the baby that was screaming 10 aisles over, right? Whatever it is, there's just more of that throughput of processing and that meaning making for safety, for how we're interpreting the environment, for all of the things that are happening. Right? That's that noticing, that filtering, that emotional reading, the meaning making body response, right? All of that is continuing to process. So where somebody might walk in and go, oh, something's rotten in the vegetable section, and then they move on and it's gone. That, highly sensitive person, if smell is something that they're very sensitive to, is going to really struggle the rest of the time they're in there.
Yes.
Clearing that. And that is going to continually be processing in their system, right? It's not that simple input output, right? So yes, something will go out, a response, a reaction, a word, a behavior, an action. We're going to do something about it. But if we're still processing and we're holding on to all of that, that's where that residue comes in.
Yes.
Because not everything that is processing fully exits. Right? So there's emotional residue, there's remaining sensory input. There might still be ongoing relational tension or unfinished processing that's internally replaying over and over and over again in the system. Right? Yes. And so when throughput is high, more is taken in, more is processed, and often more remains. Right? So that accumulation builds, we hit overload and shutdown so much faster. Because the system just goes, I can't take anything else in. Right? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've had that experience where I go, I'm done grocery shopping. Like I've gotten through maybe half the store and I can't do anymore. Right? Yes. And that's okay. It's okay to honor that if that's where we're at.
Right? It's really important to honor that. It's also really important to, if you are with someone who is sensitive and they say, I'm done, I need to leave, then make it okay for them to be done and for them to leave. And you could say, I need to finish this up. I will take care of this part. And you take care of yourself. It reminds me something like Kate said. Sometimes, being too people-y can cause residual effect, and so it's like, oh yeah. And I want to, while we're still here, Anna Heaton is here. and said, I know the feeling of the situation not leaving me after I'm back home from it. Timmy did share, for me, meditation flushes out that residue. I
Mm-hmm.
do it multiple times a day because I get so discombobulated from the chaos of people and life. Timmy, I'm glad you have found something that works for you.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you are remembering and you're doing it, because then it's also when we do the things that keep us healthy and keep our well-being in balance, it becomes more important. So if we miss a day, we can feel discombobulated, and then we get back to it. It's like, okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And, oh, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, Anna said a store is a place of many impressions, and Cheryl is here.
Hi, Cheryl. Yeah, it really is. And I think the store is such a beautiful example of it, because we all go to the store at some point in time, or we have at some
Mm-hmm.
point in our lives. But yeah, I mean, if meditation works for you to release that residue, that's beautiful. Um, again, when we're talking about what needs to stop, meditation is one of those things that if we're able to stop the brain and we're able to actually sit in that space, then we're not having more input coming in,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I know times are easier to meditate than others. Say if I've been really overstimulated throughout the day and I
Yes.
sit to try to meditate, the tiniest little sound around me, it's so intense that it's hard to stay in that focused spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're able to get into it, do it. Like, obviously, this is that whole Gerald
Oh,
said, there's no
yes.
one right way for anybody. But if you go, you know what, I just can't in those moments, that's okay too, because what we're doing is, and we'll get into this as we move forward, but we're looking at the procedure, right? Notice what is happening in what is still entering, what is happening inside of me, and then reducing that.
Yep.
So again, we'll dive into that in a little bit, but if if the meditation is going to help me to notice and reduce, great. If it's just going to make me hyper focus on the stimulation, then I need to do something else first
Yes.
in order for it to help.
And
Right?
that is where I think somebody who is experienced with helping people with the idea of this throughput and the energetic overwhelm that sometimes happens, and the
Mm-hmm.
need for relaxation, somebody who's experienced with it, they're going to get what you're saying, even though you may not have the correct words to say it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think that's really where the idea of throughput even came from, is
Mm-hmm.
to have a word, right? For
Yes.
what's happening. It's like I'm still going through it.
Yes.
And
Oh.
so it hasn't processed yet.
Mm-hmm. I also am a person who, just like when people say, "Oh, just relax,"
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go, and how might I do that? Is what I would say now, because I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to go, okay, what is it that would help me relax?
Yeah.
Because sometimes that might be listening to Rob Zombie at a decent level while I'm out screaming into the void, because I have been able to therefore discharge all of that. And then I can go, okay, now I can do something with it. Now I can see clearly.
You got it.
Yes.
You got it. And again, it's that constant like input, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if we're in that place where there's still like more input coming in, that's really hard to navigate. So putting on something that we're very familiar with on repeat or something, it's like the brain is like, okay, there's nothing here more new that I have to process,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
Because it's true, like there's a point in time where the system just it can't respond to new input anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when things start getting filtered through what's accumulated. This is why we have things like PTSD and stuff like that, because we're still filtering, we're still constantly in it. We
Mm-hmm.
haven't moved past it, we haven't been able to get it out of our system. And when that throughput is high and there's more information being received per moment, like the material that's left in our system, that accumulation can keep us stuck in reliving experiences,
Mm-hmm.
right? So instead of moving towards release, we go into that overloaded state, and our output actually reduces. Our ability to release it, to discharge it, all of that will actually
Ah,
go down. And so, we might scroll or watch something, but recognize, and again, we do what we do, but it's more input.
that's true. That's
And
very true.
this is why we do it. And we go, I just zone out. But I zone out because I can't take in anything else.
Yes.
And I'm trying to take things in order to calm my system. And that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work, and that's something that is a struggle to realize, because it may help for the first 5 minutes, and then it goes into the 20 minutes, and it picks up speed. I have written down here what sensitive people often mistake for relaxation: the idea of doom scrolling and calling it downtime. I have to say I have been much better in the last 8 months of going, nope, this isn't helping. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Keeping the TV, this is one that I have noticed recently, keeping the TV on in the background as noise. But what's on the TV is important
Mm-hmm.
rather than it just being background noise. So, zoning out, calling it recovery, I get it. Mistaking numbness for restoration. You were referencing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because instead of, moving towards release, like I said, when we're in that overloaded state, output reduces. And so nothing, it's not that nothing is happening, but it's too much happening internally for it to come out. And we often learn that we need to just numb it, right? But in those moments that we call shutdown, where we feel like we're numbed out, it's really the nervous system going, there's just too much. Nothing new can come in safely. And so that numbness becomes a safety protocol in order to protect the system.
I'm writing that down. Thank you.
Yeah.
Numbness becomes a safety.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we get into that place of, okay, how am I supposed to respond better? How am I supposed to regulate here? What am I supposed to do to calm down? But by the time we've gotten to that place, especially that highly sensitive, we're already too late. It's like we've already gotten to the
Yeah.
point where the system is
Yes.
like, I can't take in anything else. So how in the world am I going to take in what to do next?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. I always like to say, there's talk about the inflection point where you go, okay, you're coming up on this, you're coming up on this, and here's the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And my joke is yeah, I had an inflection point, and I saw it in the rear view mirror as I was driving away very quickly. And we talked about the importance of noticing
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. That also feels very much like we have to, it's part of the nervous system awareness and
Mm-hmm.
starting to see our signs.
Yeah.
Um, I want to catch up in chat. Kaylee has said, I'm very blessed. Grocery shopping in general stresses me out due to health issues, but my parents help me out and get my groceries. That's very sweet.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Timmy did share also, if things get bad, I pull out my override card. I realize that tomorrow is another day and I will feel much better about life by just waiting it out. And I have faith to just go with that.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And Anna did share a birthday party is even more a place where I get tired soon. People tend to present themselves better than they really feel. And you pick up on how they really feel. I get that.
Yep.
That balance
Right.
itself can be challenging. Yeah, what were you going to say?
No, I agree 100%. Right. We look at this and we look at that idea of overstimulation in the sensitive system. It's not just bad stuff. It's,
Yeah.
it's not the stuff that we label bad. It's everything. It
It's
literally
just
is
stuff.
exactly stimulation. And so a birthday party can be very stimulating. And not just because of the noise, the music, the people talking, just, is again, the more sensitive we are with energies and all of that, like you said, I am very sentient in the clairs that's for me. I'll walk in and go, oh, somebody's knees hurting and somebody's hips hurting and somebody's back is out and somebody's got some stomach issues and now my body feels like I just went through the ringer and
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm okay, but I'm feeling it. And so I go, okay, and let me clear all of that out. I've noticed it now. I know, right? And again, it's that the sensitive system. Yes, there's tools, and yeah, we do the stuff to protect ourselves, but it doesn't mean that we don't still monitor what's happening around us because the system is so sensitive. It needs to know what's going on so that it can feel safe in the environment.
Mm-hmm. Which is something Timmy shared here. Meditation is the only thing that relaxes me these days. I was a clenched fist for 35 years. It's taken a while to truly know relaxation, feeling safe and secure, which
Yeah.
is critical for everyone. It's
Mm-hmm.
critical, especially for sensitive people, because they take in so much stuff.
Yeah.
And Linda has joined us. Hello, Linda.
And
And I thought Timmy did share until about 18 months ago, I felt a thrill of fear every time my cell phone rang. An unfortunate leftover from my 24/7 on call IT technician days. I feel that no longer, and it is knowing how to chill.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I Go ahead.
I was just going to say about how we condition ourselves too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if we've had a repeated experience, we condition ourselves to that. So, an IT call, every time the phone would ring, you're on call, there's a problem. There's a problem I have to solve. There's
Correct.
something I have to do. I remember when I was going through my divorce, I picked a song that I just thought I loved it. It was so fitting for the situation. And I put it on as my ex's ringtone. It didn't take long for me to hate that song because I felt so much anxiety around that. And
Yes.
I thought, right again, it was that moment of, I'm going to put this on and then it's not going to bother me so much. No, 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 no. Like, and we do that. We condition ourselves without realizing it. I think I
Yes.
mentioned before when I was pregnant, there was one commercial that would come on all the time. And I had such sickness in my first pregnancy. And I would just lay there and watch TV and it would come on and I was so nauseous. Years and years and years later, I heard it again and
Oh,
the nausea came right back.
wow.
Right. So again, we condition ourselves and we don't even realize it. And this is part of what needs to leave, noticing what's happening in
Yes.
the system and then recognizing where we need to bring that down.
Yes. I'm going to put the chart back up, I think,
Sure.
as you were talking, you were doing. I think this is really important because the cycle that makes relaxation possible, it is this idea of noticing, reducing, and choosing. And it's so critical. And it all starts with the noticing.
Mhm.
And noticing is going to be different for everyone. And sometimes the noticing shifts, and that's okay. Guess what? I'm sorry. It is a sign of your growth as a being. Because if
Mm-hmm.
everything stayed exactly the same, you might not be growing and having the opportunities.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. And I think it is important, that piece here, right? That this is not a one-time fix, it's a responsive cycle. That's so important because it's meant to change. We're meant to notice different things each time we do that check-in. Because again, if I'm noticing, it's not just am I noticing what I'm feeling. That is very important. We do want to notice what we're feeling, what's coming up. But I need to first start, if I want to move towards relaxation, to notice what is still entering my system,
mm-hmm.
right? And is that something I have to reduce?
Yes.
So, as, mom, I would try to relax, and then the kids would be, mom, 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 right? I can't release what's in my system if there's a constant energy coming at it,
Yes.
right? And so we look at that and go, okay, let me just take a quick 5-minute relaxation break. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's fantastic. But if you're sitting in your office or in your cubicle and you're going to go, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes to breathe, and the phone is ringing and the email is dinging and the people next to you are talking, it's not going to do what you want it to do.
Yes. Which is also an important opportunity if you know someone, you love someone, you work with someone who is just like, I need a 5-minute break. Give them the 5-minute break and stand in the doorway and don't let anybody interrupt them. Because when you have somebody who gets that and gives you that space, you're going to get a lot of credibility with that person and deep appreciation, because it's like, you got that.
Mm-hmm.
You got that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And this is where that cycle comes in. So exactly what you're saying, Gerald, like we notice, sorry, my mouse is all over the place. We notice, right, what is still entering. And then it's like, okay, what do I have to reduce? And maybe it is that piece of, can you just stand at the door and give me 5? Right.
Yes.
So that I can reduce the noise. I can reduce the stimulation that's around me. Right. And then maybe I'm not going to go right to choose. Maybe I'm going to go back to notice again. What
Mm-hmm.
is still inside me? Right. What is it that I
Yes.
want to reduce? Right. So what am I feeling? And this is where that check in for the feeling comes in. And it's like, okay, I have clear space now because I've reduced the external stimulation to go, what am I still processing? What am I carrying right now? What is replaying for me, right? That residue that's still active in the system, right? And then I'm going to bring in something, right? I'm going to notice, like, okay, I've stopped all of these things. Everything is good. Now I can choose, right? Now I can choose what it is I want to do. Do I want to do a meditation? Do I want to just sit in silence? Do I want to do some kind of movement to release it, some somatic
Mm-hmm.
movement to move what's in the body? Maybe I just need to like shake that
Yes.
all out. Maybe I'm just going to lay on the ground.
Oh,
and,
definitely.
right.
Yes.
And maybe I need to cry. Right. So again, there's all of the different things that we can choose, but we have to do that notice, reduce process first. Right. And as I do that, maybe I'm choosing something that's going to help me reduce. And then I notice, I reduce. Right. So again, this is why it's not a one shoe fits all, because we're meant to move through the layers of it.
This is beautifully said, and this graphic, everybody, is available. It's on Jennifer's website. The link is in the description, and I've got it there. What's really important, what I want to say is, this isn't a one and done thing. It's a in the moment thing. And if you can start to notice and go, okay, what might I need to reduce? And then choose, no, I still need to notice a little bit more. It's okay to do that because the people around you are going to watch you. I'm also, and this is Gerald's version, not everybody else is going to agree with me, disagree with me. Come for me, YouTube. I think when we truly and genuinely notice what's going on, the rate of what we need to reduce and how we can choose ramps up. It goes much faster because, oh, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Yeah. And this is maybe this belongs on the fart show more than it does here, but you think about digestion in general, right? Like it has to go through a lot of different layers in order for it to digest. There's a whole throughput process of digestion.
Yes.
Right? And we can't release until that process is complete. And yet different things will cause different stimulations, will cause stomach upsets, will cause maybe some, acid reflux or some heartburn or whatever it is, right? We know in those moments, that throughput process, it needs time, it needs space, it needs love. I'm not going to feed anymore into the body. Maybe I'll take a, medicine or something to help with the, reflux or whatever's happening, but I'm going to be gentle with my system in those moments. So physically we go, yeah, no, I get that. Mentally, we do not give ourselves that grace.
Nope.
And yet it's the same kind of process.
Well said. Well said. What's really powerful, this chart is really quite helpful because if we were to layering this beautiful chart on, let's see, layering this chart on top of this one, it is one of those things because we had this chart from the last time. Putting this one next to it and not separating them could be extremely powerful. Yeah. And I would say you might, so you may not call yourself a sensitive person, but suddenly you go, that's useful. Great. Take it, share it, make it valuable to you and make it valuable for the people you love.
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and that bridges it back even to the other, the previous episode, because so often, we look at relaxation as a destination. But we talked about that, right? We talk about relaxation as a process or something that we do, but it is a destination. And our symptoms that we have that are still kind of processing in that throughput don't allow us to even start moving towards that relaxation. Yeah. And so this tool this week actually, like you said, can be used hand in hand with the other one. So the other tool can help us with that noticing. Right? What is happening? I can check and see, where am I at? What is coming in? Right? I can do that sensory check in my area, like around me, what's happening. And then that reduce, I can look at that and go, okay, what is it that I need to reduce? Maybe I need to, turn off the TV. Maybe I need to stop the scrolling. Maybe I need to put the book down. I know like reading and all of that is, considered very helpful, but sometimes it's just more stimulation. And it's like, okay, maybe I need to just shut everything off for a moment to actually check in. And now I need to go back and notice, right? So I've chosen to shut all that down, going back into noticing. Okay, what is still processing in my system? Oh, okay. I still need to discharge. I come back to discharge. What do I need to do? Okay, I'm going to shake it out. I'm going to go run. I'm going to do whatever it is I need to do. That's my choice point. Right? Then I'm going to come back and notice, where am I at? What's happening? How am I feeling? What has shifted?
That's extremely powerful, Jennifer. And as we're finishing our time up, I want to encourage people to relaxation is the destination.
Mm-hmm.
And it is an ongoing process, because there are things that, you named it. We have to figure out less stimulation, less input. It's probably really important for us to remember to maybe get some hydration in, because if our body is dehydrated, because sometimes we forget when we're in stress, oh, I haven't had a sip of water. And, here's a life skill. If you don't want to answer somebody immediately because you're going to yell at them, I just bought myself 2 seconds by taking a drink of water.
You can buy yourself a little bit more too if you swoosh. I always say chew your water. And I know that sounds really funny, but it actually hydrates the body better, right? So
Oh. Okay.
And now I've hydrated all of my gums and all around my mouth, which is going to give my body more hydration.
Mm.
And it buys you even a few more seconds.
Buys you a few more seconds. I do think, with thinking about this, people might skip the idea of less stimulation and reduced input. I do think it's important as part of that 3-section, the idea. Where is it? Where's the chart? Where is it? The reduce, or the notice, reduce, and choose. Notice what's changed for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's changed in me? What has changed in the environment? What feels like mine and what feels like it's not mine? And the idea of reduce. Okay, do you turn things off all at once so it's quiet, or do you just turn off the TV and check in? See,
Mm-hmm.
you had suggested, well, just get rid of all the stimulation. Me, I would be much more likely to go, I can't do the TV right now. I need to close that down and then check in. Everybody's, may vary. And then the idea of choosing what's next, and let's just choose something instead of being the same way you've been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to put up last, don't you?
I do, and I know we're at that time, and you like to be on it, and maybe this will be a whole other segment that we do.
Oh, go ahead.
But I think it's really important for us to understand, because I know every time I say, like, work on that scrolling and work on having the next episode play, like work on that, and people go, yeah, but it makes me feel better. And maybe we need to dive into this in more time. But when we're scrolling, or okay, another episode, it's not actually helping us recover, but it still feels good. And that is happening because our nervous system is actually doing something intelligent. It's trying to solve a problem, but the problem that it's solving is the wrong problem.
Oh.
Right? So what happens is, especially as highly sensitive, the system isn't actually necessarily looking for rest, it's looking for relief. And those aren't the same things. And so we end up doing that because now I don't have to deal with any of the other stuff. There's a bit of relief there, but it's not actually letting the system rest.
I think that could be a very fruitful conversation. I think it would be. Basically, everybody needs to subscribe to make sure, because I think that's probably going to be that next thing, because we do a lot of scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's one of the streaming services, after 2 episodes and you've not touched the screen, will actually say, hey, are you still there? Are you still watching? Which is basically the way of saying, are you okay? Do you need to go get something to drink?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. And I love this line, Gerald.
yeah.
I
You are
love
not too much. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it is designed to do.
it. Mm-hmm.
Let's support it wisely. Let's support it wisely. Plucky did share, I think the choosing step is key in situations where one feels acted upon or overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're correct. I think you're correct. Um,
Yeah. But this too much. I mean, oh my gosh, this could be a whole episode in and of itself. I don't know a single person who is highly sensitive who hasn't heard you're too much. Right? You
yeah,
feel too much, you do whatever it is, right?
yeah,
But our
that's
nervous system is doing what it's designed to do. And for those of us who are highly sensitive, empathic, whatever it is, it's how we're made, and that is okay. But like you said, we have to support it wisely. We have to give it compassion and we have to do what it needs. And that doesn't mean just following a textbook answer on how to navigate the system.
because textbook examples are not always realistic. They're textbook,
Mm-hmm.
so they can help you learn some things. Timmy said, support your local nervous system. Yes, that is very, very true. Jennifer, you've been incredible as always. Any last minute thoughts to hold people over?
Check in, right? The very first thing that we ever do when we're doing anything for ourselves is to notice, observe, pay attention, check in with yourself. If something doesn't work, that's okay. Try something else. That's the beauty of the cycle.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I want to thank everybody for being here for this conversation. I want to encourage people to watch the playback.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of information, and it's very different than what you might find on YouTube. I appreciate you being here, and I'm perfectly happy if you can take this in 10-minute chunks. Great. Especially if you're a sensitive person, because you want it to register. You might feel it's important. And not all people are the same, and sensitive people, relaxation's not one thing. It's not a one size fits all, and it's the destination.
Mm-hmm.
I want to encourage people to notice what you're absorbing and reduce what needs to stop and choose what helps you next. That's the powerful place to begin. And I appreciate you being here. Leave us a comment if you found this helpful. And if you're watching the playback, there's probably a playlist link above Jennifer's head after the video processes. And thank you so very much. And everyone, bye. Wait a minute.